Here is the new 2017 Civic Sport. It's a 1.5 litre turbocharged unit, 182 brake horsepower with a humongous boot. However, it seems to be one of the most expensive in its classes. Let's find out why. Thing is how the new Civic looks. I think it's a bit like Marmite, you either love it or you hate it. Me personally, I think it's a very good looking car, and I love the little details of the car that make it look very aggressive. It sits very low to the ground, nice and wide, especially this particular model, the 1.5 Sport Plus. Also has, you know, the twin exhausts at the back, nice alloys, just looks very, very sporty. Now moving on to the boot. The Civic does have an impressive boot size, I have to say. It's the largest in its class. Parcel shelf folds sideways like so. Something really clever which Honda have designed. You can actually take that off, you know, if you want to stick it on that side. You don't feel the need to, but you can stick it down like so. Seats are a 60-40 split, like that. Gives you plenty of room, but the boot is absolutely massive. A nice wide lip as well, so you can lift lots of heavy stuff in, lots of wide stuff, and it's a nice spacious boot. Honda's actually injected a more youthful feel to the car that's mainly aimed at middle-aged people. It's so much fun to drive. It's lower, it's wider, it's longer, and not only that, it's 52% stiffer than the previous model. And for me, stiffer is better, because obviously it improves handling massively. And I tell you what, this car does handle, and it is fantastic to drive. And this is just a normal, everyday Civic, and I ran some country lanes, and it drives very, very well. It's putting a smile on my face, if I'm being completely honest with you. And what's also helping me keep on the road is brand new to this Civic is the multi-link suspension setup. Comparing it to the old one, the old torsion beam, it handles so much better. And for those who aren't familiar with what a torsion beam is and what a multi-link suspension setup is, a torsion beam is where both wheels are in theory connected to each other. So one wheel may want to move and the other may want to stay, but because obviously they're attached, it's like a seesaw effect. Whereas a multi-link suspension, both corners of the car, the rear, are independent, so they can move freely, which of course not only improves handling, but it also improves comfort. And I have to say, around the British roads, around these country lanes, there are many, many potholes, there are many, many rough roads, and it just irons them out very, very smoothly. It's a very comfortable car to drive. As well as that, the new Civic is a lot more quieter and a lot more refined than the previous Civic too. And if I'm being completely honest, it doesn't feel like you're in a Civic. Honda have definitely stepped up the game with this car. Compared to its rivals, say Toyota or Hyundai, it definitely steps the game up. I'd say it's more on par now with, say, Volkswagens and Audis, dare I say it. But for this particular car, it's a Sport Plus, and with that it comes with absolutely everything. I mean, it comes with lane assist, it comes with adaptive cruise control, it comes with everything you need. It even comes with the sunroof, and it's only £26,000. Now in my eyes, I look at this and I look at a BMW 320i, you know, 30 odd grand. Which would I rather have? If I'm being completely honest, I think the Civic looks more like a special car than the BMW, and it comes with a lot more as standard. So I'm not going to say you'd be stupid, but you'd be stupid to choose the BMW over this as your daily drive. It's very economical. The new 1.5 VTEC engine offers plenty of punch, and for example, I'm cruising along now. I'm not going to say I've been driving slowly, been a bit of spirited driving, but I've achieved 41 miles to the gallon, which is incredible if I'm being completely honest with yourselves. The new Civic does share some familiar Honda traits. For example, the gearbox is nice and stiff. It's a nice short throw between gears, which just adds to that sporty feel, and it's an absolute joy to use. The brakes are nice and responsive, and the clutch is nice and light, so if you're poddling around town, you don't mind being on and off of the clutch because your left leg just doesn't start paining. Now onto the steering. The new Civic has a new variable rate steering range. So what that means is the quicker you turn the steering wheel, the quicker you can fully lock it. So if you're, for instance, stuck in traffic, you can fully lock the steering wheel with just one turn of the wheel, which is just amazing. Now, if you fancy a bit of spirited driving, it adds to that sporty feel. It's very direct, it's very responsive. And if you're just poddling around town, going to do your weekly shop, or you know, if you even live in a village which has got loads of roundabouts, it's very easy to use. You don't find yourself, you know, constantly turning the steering wheel, which is a good thing. Having said that though, it does lack just a little bit of feel, but who really cares about that? Because this car isn't aimed at people who want to thrash around some country lanes. It's got so much tech packed into it, it's so refined, it's just an absolute joy to drive, and you don't really care, if I'm being honest, if it has feel or if it doesn't. So overall, what do I think of the new Civic 1.5 Sport? I think it's a fantastic bit of kit, and for 26 grand you can't really get a car better value for money. Just a massive shout out to Stuart Graham Honda for lending me the car for the last 2 days. Massive shout out, thank you very much for that. And if you are in the market for, say, a new Civic or even a Honda in general, make sure you head down to them. They're based in Crewe and they'll sort you out a fantastic deal. Not only that, there's some fantastic deals on a new Civic at the moment, and I'll put the link in the description for you. Take care. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.